Morning, everyone, and sorry we're running a little bit late here this morning. Had a lot of stuff going on. Tried to get something finished for the show. So, welcome to Footprints Forward. It is now Monday, December 8th. Good God, December 8th, which means one thing, at least in our world. Of course, that is supposed to read only 17 days left to record, but only 17 to record. Hours, minutes, what? So, only 17 days left to record a message to be included in this year's miracle of a season. So, please get going on this. Let's get those recordings out. Use the QR code above me. Use that to attach the recordings to it. Okay? Very simple. Give us a story. Read a story. Give us a memory. Cook a meal. Cook a side dish. Cook some cookies. Bake some cookies. Bake, your favorite dessert for this time of year, no matter what your celebration is. It could be a kugel. It could be a ham based. It could be sugar cookies, gingerbread cookies. In which, if somebody wants to bake gingerbread cookies, I would appreciate that because I like gingerbread cookies and I don't know, I've never made them before. So I'd love to see a recipe on that. So, right here, right there is a good place to go and record them. And let's share your celebration with others out there. Let's stop the foolishness. Let's stop the ignorance, and let's really start recording how others celebrate. Turn their celebration into potentially a new way of doing things, into a new tradition for someone else. And along the way, you might just help somebody get past the pain that they're feeling this difficult time of year. Again, it doesn't matter what celebration you celebrate. This is open for you. Hanukkah, if you celebrate Christmas, if you celebrate El Eid Fitr, I don't care. Winter solstice, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Whatever you celebrate, this is our season. In our season, we take care of everyone. So please come on, tell us about how in which this is true of almost every single one of them. Tell us how we light candles in order to lighten the dark, and to chase out the evil for the Chinese New Year, in to lighten a pathway to really make things go. Let's tell people about how your culture has taught you, how your culture brought you up to be who you are, what your family did to make a difference this time of year. So please, 17 days left. Get the recordings going. Start collecting books. Send them here. Donate here, or take them to your hospital. Take them to your local hospital. Tell them, you know what? We're part of an initiative to put books in hospitals for kids everywhere. For kids who have to spend time in a crappy hospital. We want to make their stay a little bit better. So we have two recordings today. Both of them are very special shows to me because they have different aspects to them. The first one is the Master Connectors Corner with Alan Holmes, and his um, his guest today is seriously one of the friendliest gentlemen, Frank Monteforte. One of the friendliest gentlemen I have the pleasure of getting to know. I interviewed him a couple months ago. He is just the sweetest guy, and he's been through a lot. And so everything that he's got going on is, look, you really want to take and you want to learn things from people who have been through it. All right. Frank lost a daughter to cancer. Frank, he and his wife, um, they're in different places of the recovery. And that's something that they both had to live with, you know, um, of the grieving. They've, they've had to take and they've had to learn how each other deals with this, and it's very important. So, first up, we have Alan Holmes, the Master Connectors Corner, and then Joel and I have a very very special announcement and a very special guest. We had a lot of fun with this interview, so it'll be coming up. So, Rewired for Men will be coming up in about 28 minutes or so. But first, this is my buddy Alan Holmes with Master Connectors Corner.
Hey there, friends. I've been thinking we all have our strengths, right? I can do this, but I'm not so great at that. I'm pretty good at talking to people, but I'm not so great at adding things into a website or app. Oops. I love speaking, sharing stories, but social media, all those hashtags and algorithms, yeah, that's a jungle I haven't quite figured out yet. Coming up with ideas that bring folks together? I'm all about it. Bookkeeping, let's just say numbers, and I don't exactly get along, but that's okay because someone out there is good at those things, and when we work together, magic happens. See, Community Pay It Forward has never been about one person. It's a program built by many to support even more. Every one of us brings something special to the table. We all have talents that make us great on our own. But imagine how much stronger we are when we bring all those talents together. That's what Community Pay It Forward is all about. Your skills, my skills, our hearts, working together to make a difference. So tell me, what are you good at? Let's find out together. Visit communitypayitforward.us and join the movement.
Hello world, my name is Z, or you can call me Mr. Z. I am a web developer and I am also a consultant at Z World Webs. My one goal is to develop custom websites that are specifically catered to your organization's needs. I completely understand that building a website is an exhilarating, exciting, and significant step in connecting with your audience. Your organization has Z potential to make a meaningful impact, whether it's supporting animal rights, advocating for equality, combating human trafficking, or honoring the brave individuals who have served our country. Your mission is too important to be held back by the challenges a website can present. And I am here to ensure that your website works for you, not against you. Whether it's maintaining, developing, or redeveloping a custom website that is specifically catered to your needs. And with that being said, I would be more than delighted to learn more about your organization and, of course, develop a website Z World is waiting for. Thank you.
When you join the Community Pay It Forward family, your business can be seen because people know your business will offer hope to organizations like Todd Lingle of CARES Foundation. CARES Foundation is a proud mission partner of Community Pay It Forward. CARES Foundation is dedicated to educating young drivers of the dangers of impaired and distracted driving. Every sale through Community Pay It Forward helps support incredible organizations like the CARES Foundation
Okay, well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. This is Alan Holmes live from Southern California with another edition of Master Connectors Corner, where we focus on everyone's 15, 20 minutes of fame. In this case, we have someone who I have known for about a year.
Hey there, friends. I've been thinking we all have our strengths, right? I can do this, but I'm not so great at that. I'm pretty good at talking to people, but I'm not so great at adding things into a website or app. Oops. I love speaking, sharing stories, but social media, all those hashtags and algorithms, yeah, that's a jungle I haven't quite figured out yet. Coming up with ideas that bring folks together, I'm all about it. Bookkeeping, let's just say numbers, and I don't exactly get along, but that's okay because someone out there is good at those things, and when we work together, magic happens. See, Community Pay It Forward has never been about one person. It's a program built by many to support even more. Every one of us brings something special to the table. We all have talents that make us great on our own. But imagine how much stronger we are when we bring all those talents together. That's what Community Pay It Forward is all about. Your skills, my skills, our hearts, working together to make a difference. So tell me, what are you good at? Let's find out together. Visit communitypayitforward.us and join the movement.
Hello world, my name is Z, or you can call me Mr. Z. I am a web developer, and I am also a consultant at Z World Webs. My one goal is to develop custom websites that are specifically catered to your organization's needs. I completely understand that building a website is an exhilarating, exciting, and significant step in connecting with your audience. Your organization has Z potential to make a meaningful impact, whether it's supporting animal rights, advocating for equality, combating human trafficking, or honoring the brave individuals who have served our country. Your mission is too important to be held back by the challenges a website can present. And I am here to ensure that your website works for you, not against you. Whether it's maintaining, developing, or redeveloping a custom website that is specifically catered to your needs. And with that being said, I would be more than delighted to learn more about your organization and, of course, develop a website Z World is waiting for. Thank you.
When you join the Community Pay It Forward family, your business can be seen because people know your business will offer hope to organizations like Todd Lingle of CARES Foundation. CARES Foundation is a proud mission partner of Community Pay It Forward. CARES Foundation is dedicated to educating young drivers of the dangers of impaired and distracted driving. Every sale through Community Pay It Forward helps support incredible organizations like the CARES Foundation.
Okay, well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. This is Alan Holmes live from Southern California with another edition of Master Connectors Corner, where we focus on everyone's 15, 20 minutes of fame. In this case, we have someone who I have known for about a year, who's definitely someone who you all need to learn to listen to get to know. His name is Frank. He's currently assisting adults in as a life coach. Through his childhood upbringing and certain things he's gone through life, he's adapted to help, making over 11 years of experience assisting people in various different aspects and of their life. So without further ado, let me just bring um, up to the stage Frank. Thank you. Good morning. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for being here. Share a little bit about who you are first and foremost, and what started your journey as a life coach in this and what you do.
Thank you. Thank you for asking me to get on your show also. So I've been a life coach for about 3 years. I retired 2.5 years ago. No, excuse me, reverse. I retired. Yes, I retired like 2 years ago. When I retired, I needed help because of some of the trauma I went through in my life. And in doing so, I felt that I could, with some other coaches that I know that were helping me, they said you could reach out and help people because of my knowledge, what I know, what I've been through. And I do have a website. I do have some reels on there talking about who I am, what I've been through to get to where I am today. I got certified at IAP College, and it's a certification. It's on my business card, and I continue working with them. It's called CCE, which is Continuing Coaching Education. So, and and I basically help people. I'll give you a quick synopsis of what I do. Is uh, so I've developed an effective method to improve someone's life, working on their relationships, all life situations basically, because I get calls about somebody that lost a job, somebody that lost a child, someone that wants to change their career, someone that's afraid to retire and doesn't know what to do. They're basically just life situations. I have 35 years in the mortgage banking industry. I have 18 years in the food manufacturing plant. I had 25 full time employees, and I sold that. I managed myself uh, five rental properties while I was doing the mortgage banking. I also had a retail florist for 10 years. Everything was successful, thank you, God. Um, and I also lost a daughter to cancer 7 years ago, and she was sick for 5 years before that. That is what got me into helping people. I've had quite a bit of, I guess, dysfunctional life like everybody else growing up with not knowing right from wrong, not being taught. And my parents were depression parents. But leaving that behind, where I am now with everything I've been through, I'm able to feel blessed and content and able to help other people and still be happy. Accepting everything that has happened to me, everything is not a tragedy. Everything that we go through, there's something to learn from that. So I have a program, it's called Empowering Your Evolution. I empower clients to confidently navigate life on their own terms. I create a safe environment so people can share what they need to. I have a goal setting system that I work with the client. We have midpoint checkups during the progress. And as a final result, hopefully that they've achieved what they want to have achieved. There are some testimonials on my website also from the people that I have helped. And that's who I am, and I'd like to be your coach.
Wow. A lot of times when individuals hear the word coach, they kind of step back. But from since I've known you, um, Frank, you've always been authentic and genuine in what you've gone through. First and foremost, my deepest condolences to your princess, your angel. I know she's looking down on you and giving you the inspiration. Thank you for being who you are. Which leads me to maybe the next question is: there's a lot of individuals that may say, "Well, I can do it on my own. Why do I need coach or guidance? What are without giving the secret sauce, so to speak, because we're going to ask
Okay.
you to kind of share your information, and we're going to get
Mm-hmm.
Zach. And thank you, Community Pay It Forward, for hosting the Master Connectors Corner. But what is the one tip that you can give that when someone says, "Well, I'll do it on my own," why should they go to Frank
That's a really
with
good
Elgin
question.
Coaching?
That's a really a great question, and I'd love to answer it this way. Uh, we all go through life. We all feel like we can handle everything that happens to us. But there comes a point in our life where we need to realize that we need a little bit of courage to step outside that comfort zone and say, I do need help. People that ask for help, sometimes they think they're weak, they think they're needy. It's a sign of confidence and strength that you realize that you need some information. What I can help people do, and it's not like you have to sign up for a year, 6 months, or a month, sometimes 2 or 3 phone calls, and you say to yourself, I can do this. I do have a path. And it's the person themselves that realize I can try to help them realize that they have the courage to do this. But I did it myself for years. You're comfortable saying, no, I can handle it. I can handle it. And if you don't make any changes, nothing changes in your life. So I hope that answers your question.
For
Absolutely, absolutely. And I see that we have been joined this by our incredible Zach Clayton. I'm sure, Zach, do you have some further questions asked this, Frank?
Yeah, actually, I've got one question for Frank, and I've got one very, very important comment. I see that you have one of the world's best philosophers hanging on your wall, Mr. John Lennon. I congratulate you on
Yes.
that.
Thank you.
John
Yep.
Lennon is, I'm a
One of
huge
my
fan of
heroes.
his. Yep, absolutely. What's funny is I just used his life as what happens to you while you're busy making other plans. I used that in a meeting earlier today.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
ironic that I see that hanging there. Frank, my question for you, real quick, is why do we, as people, insist on thinking that we're broken at times? Because we're not broken. We may be confused, we may be lost, but why do people consistently think that I'm broken? And what can we do to get out of that mindset?
People, I believe, go with that comfortable feeling of being uncomfortable that makes them say, oh, this is the way I am. Whatever. Uh, and that's a perfect question because I felt like I was broken at one time. Um, I have friends, relatives that do call me, and it's hard when you have somebody close to you to let them share what they want. But it takes courage to step outside your comfort zone, and that's where the brokenness comes in because that's where you're comfortable. It's like if you read, I do a lot of reading um, about the brain, about behaviors, about our thoughts. Your mind and your body work together. A lot of people don't realize that one really doesn't work well without the other. And sometimes that's why people are in confusion or in some sort of chaos because that's what they know, that's what they understand. And when sometimes, even myself, with all the progress I've made, when things are really good, I step back and I go, uh oh, is something going to go wrong? It's not. It's just me thinking, uh, future thinking is just wasted. It's, when you worry, you're wasting your thoughts. Live in the present and appreciate where you are. But if you feel that you are confused, chaotic, or broken, you can reach out and get help from somebody. It doesn't have to be me either. You can just go to the library and take out some books about self help. Um, that's my answer.
Wow. Yeah, that that's an incredible answer. And as I was perusing your incredible bio on your website, over 100 self-help books that you read. Wow, that is, my mind is blown. Can you share, especially as we come into the holiday season, and I know that Community Favor Forward and with a couple of other associates, especially one with Santa Papa has a reading to the children during the holiday season. What can you give to the families as they slide into the holidays, no matter what holiday tradition they celebrate? How does one handle the families or during the time of anxiety and depression and so forth? What do you say to someone when they're taking the steps through or to get through this holiday season?
I will answer that with what I do. I have faith. Faith keeps me strong. Some people don't have that. And you mentioned a couple of things about anxiety and depression. Sometimes people need to go to a therapist. I'm not a therapist, but I can coach someone in life situations to help you realize that what you're feeling is normal. It's not abnormal. Like it's holiday time. Like I think of when holidays and it's happening now. I think of when I was a kid. It was just wonderful. Now it is wonderful, but there's a lot of things that I have had happen to me. I have 6 grandkids. I have 2 other children. I got a wonderful life, and I'm blessed with, and all the other things that I I could focus on, will make me sad and depressed. But those are just feelings, and if you can allow them to come and go, that's to me is a normal practice of being like it's a level of like contentment that you know life isn't perfect, so you're not going to constantly be happy every day, um, but you can deal with what happens. You let it happen, and feelings and emotions, they're not facts. They're things that we go through to feel better. You can't feel happy without sadness. You can't feel content without pain. So it's life. It's life. But don't be afraid to help yourself. Faith. If you're religious, go to your church. Go to your priest. If you're not, go to the library. It's really quiet. Get a book. Uh, Focus on yourself. Think about how you want to feel, and you will feel that way. You know, we basically do what we repeatedly do every day. And unless we make a tiny change, you'll be surprised how that little change will change you and all the people you interact with. And I'm telling you that from experience.
Wow, that's incredible. And just a couple more questions before we ask for your incredible contact information, because our listeners and viewers will definitely want to get a hold of you. What is your superpower? What makes Frank Frank? And when someone just says, in the sea of all this great knowledge and experience, and like I say, in the time that I've known you, just been having a lot of golden nuggets. What is your superpower? Upon number one, kind of two-part question. The second one is, who would be your power partners or clients that you're looking for that we can kind of share with the world?
Uh, I don't believe I have a superpower. I believe that I'm an authentic, responsible, mature adult
Yes, sir.
with an open heart and an open mind, and I've learned how to listen. The client you just asked, what kind of someone that needs some sort of help and realizes they need help, that's who I'm available for. It's not like I'm selling a product and I can go advertise about, buy this product and your life is going to be terrific. Um, it's hard to get someone to drop their guard and say, you know what, I do need help. I've had people call me and like hang the phone up, and then I just wait, and usually they call back, and then they're honest with me and they said I was really nervous. I said that's fine, But so I do reach out to the pastor in the church. I have a couple of therapists that I know that they get clients that really can't afford therapy, that they know who I am, they know my experience, and they will say this person can help you. You don't need me. Like therapists help you with your past. Coaching helps you with dealing with what's happening to you right now. And that's a difference.
Well, Frank, I want to disagree with you. I think that your superpower, my friend, is very simple. When you talk to you, just listening to you is like listening to relaxation. Okay. You are one of the greatest people just to listen to. You have a conversation with you, and just that feeling of zen, if you will, just comes over you. There's no stress. There's no,
Thank
you
you.
know, it is
Thank
all
you.
just one whitewash of happiness. So that, my friend, is your superpower.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Zach. And Frank, as we come to the close of this, it's always borrow from my one of my the other Z. It's hard for me to say goodbye, but we definitely would like to say thank you for being here. But before we do, um, please share a little bit. And I know Zach is going to get out to the community pay it forward world, your contact information. But how does someone get a hold of you? What is the best way? Website or social media? How do we get a hold of you, sir?
I am on LinkedIn. I am on Instagram. Uh, but you can just email me at frankmonteforti@gmail.com. My cell number is 347-886-0019. And if you go to frankmonteforti.com, my website will come up. Uh, that's the simplest way. I don't know, like, I'm a little new with that. Like, so I have yes, it's LinkedIn, Facebook I'm on, Instagram, because the emails I send out 2 emails, inspirational emails a week. And at the bottom, it has my email address, my cell phone, my website address, and the social media apps that I'm connected to also.
Awesome.
Just
I
using my
really
just using my
And
name.
is there an opt-in option on your website for people to receive your emails?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
and
perfect,
you can
perfect.
also make a free consultation. You can put the information in to make a free consultation.
All right. Well, that's definitely, and we're definitely going to get it out to the community, pay it forward community, and the recording and share this all over our space. But Frank, I am going to continue as always to wish you the best of, like Zach says, it is zen listening to you, sir. You always giving and sharing your wisdom, and I want to thank you for being part of the Master Connectors Corner and the community pay it forward family. It's such an inspired. Any final thoughts or golden nuggets you want to leave our audience today?
I wish everybody wellness and happiness and health, and don't be afraid to help yourself.
Thank you so much. And thank you for being part of the Master Connectors Corner in the community pay it forward
Thank you
family.
guys. I much
Yes, sir.
appreciate it. Really.
Thank you.
I'll be seeing you.
Hi, friends.
Hi, friends.
I'm Barry. And this is my amazing support gang, Zayden, Avery, and Bert. We're here to invite you to something truly magical, the miracle of the season.
This year, we're asking you to collect new books and board games. Yes, they must be new. And deliver them to the 2025 Chili Cook-Off, Community Pay It Forward, or your local children's ward at the hospital closest to you.
These gifts will bring comfort, imagination, and joy to children who need it most.
We also want you to read your favorite story, just like you would to your own kids, and record it for us to share on air.
Help us by purchasing these books and board games.
Open the cover and sign it with your family name, leaving the "to" blank for a nurse to fill in.
Let's celebrate the beauty of every tradition, every story, and every act of love.
Tell us about your favorite holiday memories. What did you celebrate? What moments with family and community do you cherish most?
Your voice could bring a beloved tale to someone who's never heard it before.
Businesses, we need you too. Sponsorships help us reach more families and make this season truly miraculous. Join us in showing your love for the community. Join us
for the miracle of the
season. Visit communitypayitforward.us to learn more, get involved, and share your story.
We have a beginning. 2 full boxes. Getting ready to go to Northern Colorado hospitals. Congratulations to everyone who's been helping us with this and everyone who's going to continue. We are starting this off in a really good way. Please make sure you continue to drop off books, collect books, or donate via our QR code or the link below. Hey everybody, I do want to remind everyone out there that it's not just kids here in the United States that need help. We've got a really good friend who is running a program in Africa that she does wonderful things. Lydia is a friend of ours, and she's a mission partner. You know, they could use your help too. And these are the kind of things that, look, these kids have very little, relatively speaking, to what we have here in the United States. They have very little, including food. Okay. So, I mean, this is one of those times a year. I really hope that everybody digs deep, and we know that you want to support the kids in your community, which is fantastic. I am all for it. But let's also remember kids everywhere, because kids everywhere need our help. Not just here, everywhere. Okay? And this is the time of year that we really need to open our hearts. And I mean, Lydia's school, there's times that's the only food they get. So please consider making a purchase with one of our giving partners and giving back to programs like Lydia's. If you want more information, please get a hold of me. CommunityPayItForward.us. That's CommunityPayItForward.us. I will direct you to her program, and you can help her out, because it would be greatly appreciated through her, from her, and especially from her kids. She sent me some videos of the kids that she teaches, and it's beautiful. It truly is. So we do only have 17 days left. Let's get these recordings going. Let's make a difference. You are the miracle of the season. Your story can make a difference for somebody who's struggling right now. What you've done to overcome difficulties, what you've done to overcome things like loss or or just financial troubles, and what you were able to do for your kids in the past with financial troubles can really help out families right now who are struggling. And there's the dogs trying to warn me that the world's, I don't know, probably that my wife is trying to break into the office or something, because nobody comes down here. But anyway, um, so but your story can mean huge things. Also remember, if you take and you record yourself reading your favorite story as a kid, schools like Lydia's can listen to you read that story. It could be the first time that they've ever heard that story. Imagine the smiles on their faces hearing stories like this. So it's just a thing. This is 37 straight hours on December 25th, where all we're doing is being positive. And I don't care if you're Christian, I don't care if you're Muslim, I don't care if you are pagan, I don't care if you are Jewish, I don't care, whatever. It doesn't matter. We're all humans. We all matter, every single one of us. So, coming up next, we have Rewired for Men. And we have a very, very special announcement on this. So, I'm not going to waste any time. We're going to start playing it right now. I still think that's probably the best work I've ever done on Canva, just because it really is moving. You see you and I dancing, and thank God that nobody else can see that. But, I'm a fat guy. Nobody needs to see me dance. I tell people I don't dance. I wiggle a little bit, and then all the fat just kind of gyrates with me. So, hey everybody, how's it going? This is Zach Clayton. I got my buddy here, Joel, with Rewired for Men. Joel, we have a very special show today.
We do indeed, sir. But before we move on, are you getting to cash and hand gigs where you get on a red suit and you wear a hat? Is that what you're getting to? Yeah.
Yeah. Except for, like I said, I ended up shaving my beard the other day, and I was like going, man, I just ruined the whole. And actually, that guy, I know that guy. I actually know him in a couple places. I know the one that's here in the States, and then I know one that's in your neck of the woods. So we're going to be working with them at the end of the season, or at the end of the month here, for the miracle of the season. So they're going to come on and they're going to tell some wonderful stories to kids all over the world. So I love that. But yeah, I know that guy. It's funny. I always tell them that I can't be one of their elves, because the elves can't be fatter than Santa. So,
but yeah, so a complete sidetrack there, Zach. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to today, bringing our first guest of the Rewired Men shows going forwards. That's what we were talking about at the back end of last month. Lots of exciting things coming in January. But yeah, we're bringing on my lovely friend Shamaine. Shah. I'm not great at names, and she'll explain that in a minute. But she's a dear friend. We are very much on the same page of what we want to do and make a difference to people's lives. So I'll shut up, and Shamaine, you can introduce yourself a little bit, love. Off you go.
I have taught you over the past year and whatnot to say my name properly, but here we are. He'll get there eventually. We've whittled it down to Shah, I think. Yeah. But yeah, it's Shamaine. Nice to see you.
Well, Charmaine, you do understand that we are men, so it does take us a little bit longer. You know, men and dogs, it takes getting beat a couple times until we learn our lesson.
I just need to play him with chocolates every time he gets it right.
Yeah.
Hey,
I got
I'm up for chocolate.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've got my learning treat right here. So, but yeah, we are thrilled to announce that we have a brand new podcast that's going to be coming up at the beginning of the year. And Shemaine, Joel, and I are going to put together a podcast that's called Nothing Off Limits, and
Yeah.
it's truly going to be a show that there's nothing off limits, and it's going to be talking about the mental aspects of life, life, love, liberty, whatever you want to talk about. I mean, it's just about getting to where people can feel good again, because Shemaine, you are a hypnotherapist and a psychotherapist.
Psychotherapist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
psychotherapist. Tell us a little bit about what you do. Tell us a little bit about what's the day to day look like for Shemaine.
So day in the day for me is predominantly going to my therapy room, which is in Manchester in England. And I see a range of clients who are from the public sector or from corporate companies. And we speak about a range of challenges and issues that go on within daily life. So that could be complex trauma or complex grief. That could be anxiety management. It could be relationship issues and challenges. What I see predominantly and have seen over a decade within my career is that a lot of it comes back to the sense of self, and a lot of it comes back to our belief systems, and over time we pick up self-limiting beliefs based on narratives around us, the families we're born into, society, expectations, all these different things that can emotionally stun us and prevent us from growing emotionally in a healthy way coming into adulthood. And then what you tend to find is that you have the reins to then look after your own well-being and mental health. And we look around and we don't have the tools. And we're scared and we think that it's an us problem, not a bigger problem. And it shuts people down. So I'm here collaborating with Joel and yourself going forward to open that up. There are so many things that people are scared to speak about. And if they did and had the encouragement to, what would happen is that so many other people will be like, I've been there, I feel like that, I've experienced that. And that's how you start to make change, and that's how you start to break down stigma.
You know, Joel, we have the thing that we go by, never shut up, because something that we're going to say is going to change someone's life. And that's why this podcast, this upcoming podcast, is going to be so valuable, because we need to make sure that everything that we're saying, it reaches those people who need to hear this message, right?
Yeah.
So, Joel, how are you and Shemaine? How are you all connected? What do you guys do? And what brought this partnership on?
Yeah, it's almost really interesting that me and Shemaine have kind of crossed over with peer groups, not necessarily properly connected until recently. But as you can see from the things what she's saying, very much my values are very much in line with Shemaine's and her background and things like that. And that is absolutely clear, and you'll see more of that with our new show going forward, Nothing Off Limits. And the other thing as well, you must know this with all the charity work do. It's very difficult to find somebody you can really trust who understands what you want to do and actually wants to make a difference to the world around you, and not just get money. So, the nature of obviously one hat that I wear is obviously the Rewire to Men one, focus on empowering men around the mental health. But similar to you, Zach, I've got my own community interest company that operates within a community about improving people's health and well-being. And very much I've had that company in existence since April 2022. And recently, after meeting Shemaine, we are very much on the same page. We want to make a difference in people's lives. And it's been a real honour to bring Shemaine on as a director to my
No.
community interest company. So it's really exciting next year with what we want to do with Nothing Off Limits, but also what we want to do from a CIC perspective. You know, and it's just it's beautiful music to my ears when you hear somebody who speaks about your values and what aligns and what you're trying to do. And you must sort of hear it, Zach, as well, based on what she's spoke about so far and off camera as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. And look, let's put this out here and let people know. Shemaine, Joel and I, we've talked a lot about the way that men think. Okay, you focus on everyone, right? I mean, you also focus on women, but is there's obvious differences. Okay, men and women are different, but is there difference in the depression? Is there difference in the thought process? And is there difference in the learning, or is it just individualized by the person? Because of course, as we were speaking earlier, just because it works for you doesn't mean it's going to work for me. Is that the
Mhm.
same with women?
It always. Do you remember when the book came out? Like, is it Men Are from Venus, Women Mars?
Mars, yeah,
Something
something
like
like that. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And I remember hearing about that and thinking, is that fair? And then the more that I went into my training and understood that, yeah, there are unique differences between male neurology and female neurology, I also understood that there are also clusters and patterns and themes that are very similar, regardless of gender, and that there are so many different trends within mental health where it almost comes in waves of similar patterns and themes. And as individuals, if you clustered people together and said you're all talking about the same thing, it'd be quite fascinating and quite empowering for other people to see. I feel that in terms of compartmentalization, that's something that the guys seem to be able to tap into more so. And when not able to do that, that is when anxiety and overwhelm and things start to overtake. Whereas women predominantly are more emotion led. And in my mind, it's like a bit of a little interstate where it's crossing and multi connecting and all these different things are going on. And we can take that back historically to, if we look back to what was the role of the man when they had to go out and hunt and provide, what was the role of the woman in building a home and having children and growing those things. So you can kind of see that if we looked at that structure, women do all the cross connecting and the multitasking and making that come together. And the males are more like, right, I need to go and do X, Y, Z. Done. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah,
When
yeah,
actually,
absolutely.
there's more crossover than people will allow. We're not separate entities. We come together very well and can complement each other very, very well. A lot of it is down to communication, and a lot of it is down to what we want to say but doesn't get said.
Joel, I said something a couple shows back where I was and I went and I talked to my wife about it, and I told her, I realized that during our show that I've done something wrong for a lot of years. And when I said that, when we're talking to them and there's a miscommunication, it's not I heard you, it's like, okay, wait a minute, I just need to make sure I heard you. Is this what you're asking me to do? Or can you take and tell me exactly what you need me to do? And my wife goes, yeah, you've screwed up on that a couple times. And I'm like going, okay, hey, this is a growing moment, not a punishing moment, you know. And of course she likes to punish, so it is what it is. But so just to let you know, I actually use some of the lessons we've learned here and been punished for it. But
But
with
that's clarification. That's clarification of meaning,
yes,
and it's something that can. It's a step that many people miss for many different reasons. Having the courage to clarify a meaning,
yeah, Joel,
which that's a lot of assumption.
Is that because we as men were afraid to hear what they're actually saying sometimes?
Yeah, I think that a lot of that is to do with it. And a lot, Shah touched upon is the whole socialization process, about men are not supposed to be deemed weak, not supposed to be vulnerable and this, that, and the other, because if a man isn't quite sure what's being said and they kind of ask for clarification, they're opening themselves up, aren't they? They're opening themselves up for feedback, and that feedback can vary. So a man can find it difficult to do that because remember, vulnerability equals weakness. So and a lot of men don't want to look stupid in front of their partner or their friends or both. So he will kind of presume they know what the woman's asking because remember, the man's the provider. And how would it look for them to ask for clarification and feedback if they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is provided? That's the mindset to some degree of what men operate from. And Shah touched on something before, which is, again, it's music to my ears when other people say similar things what I say. That very much what Shah is saying. Women are very emotionally intuitive, they're very much tuned in with a gut instinct, they're very much tuned in with a peer group. Men are very much logic, reason, reflection, X, Y, Z, done. So it's kind of, you almost like Shah said, you almost learn a different way of communication to actually seek a clarification. And men kind of miss that bit for all the reasons that I've said. But when you develop that, the quality of communication improves and the quality of the relationship improves. Because sometimes what I sort of say a lot of how we operate as men, we very much get a strong but wrong response. We think we're right, but we're actually nowhere near. And that really comes obvious when you do what you think you've been asked to do and it's nowhere near. And you wonder why the woman gets upset because you've not done what she's asked you to do. So
one addition I'd like to add to that, I think a lot of times as men, and Shemaine, you can tell me if you've found this any different, but I think that there are times that as a man, we will take the opening and the unclarified version of what they're saying to kind of twist it into what we wanted to hear. So, well, you asked me to do this and I did it the way I saw it. And, well, if I actually asked you, I'd have to go and do something that I don't really want to do. Well, okay, I heard you. I did it. It's not exactly what you wanted, but damn it, I did it. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. But the thing there is that there are so many assumptions. We assume that we've heard X, Y, Z. We assume that something was said like that, and that's because there's like a stumbling point at the clarification. So you've got the communication and the words being said, and then the comprehension of that. Like, do we actually understand the other person's words? But then we fall down at clarification. Let me just check the meaning, or let me just check what I've just heard with you so I get it right. And then if there is, say, Zach, you're wanting to do it one way and your wife is wanting to do it another way, there's then room for compromise on the back of clarification. But if there isn't that clarification, then it's assumption and there's no room for compromise because a whole wealth of things are going on. And therefore is the breakdown.
this could be easily remedied if one we would clarify in the beginning. We were able to speak to each other in more definite, in more defined ways.
Mhm.
You know, when you ask somebody something, make sure that you're very clear about it. And it would also help if you do, when you do allow them to come back with a question. Okay, this is what I heard. Did I hear this right? You know, of course, it also would help if a man's not trying to be, you know, a little bit of, you know, playful there. And well, you know, it's like I watched a commercial today, or something on YouTube today was about how woman's math works for a man. And the lady opened up the door, and the guy's sitting there with a brand new truck. And she goes, "Whose truck is this?" And he goes, "Well, it's our truck." And she goes, "How?" And he goes, "Well, I was able to get this free TV with the truck. You said we needed a free TV, or you said we needed a new TV. And so I see it as we saved hundreds of dollars on the TV because I bought this truck." So, you know, that's kind of what I was talking about. I don't know if, first off, I laughed my ass off at that. I thought that was funny.
I mean, I'm
Second
not
off,
sure how much compromise would be in that scenario,
yeah,
to be honest. I know what the
yeah.
clarification after it would be.
Oh, I know that I would be returning a truck going, "Oh, I got in a lot of trouble for this."
Well, yeah, you'd be watching TV on your own in the truck.
I was going to say, and sleeping in the truck as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But,
Yeah, I
you
I
know,
wouldn't be allowed to drive it. That's what it is. It would become her truck.
but ideally, the clarification would be that, you know, the whole thing, words, comprehension, clarification, compromise, but then you've got the fear behind not feeling confident to do that. Fear, you know, fear because of lack of confidence, fear because of rejection, fear of abandonment, fear of some sort of consequence that shuts down people's voices. So when we're saying, oh, just clarify your meaning, the reason that communication is one of the biggest challenges in any relationship, whether it be intimate, friend, family, the other, is because there are so many fears and self-limiting beliefs under that prevent people from actually pulling it together. It pulls them apart.
Well, let me ask Joel, is one of the reasons why we as men do something like that is because we feel like we're being forced into doing something that we had no say in. She is telling us what she needs us to do. And the men, our first reaction is always, well, how come it's got to be this way? How come it can't be this way? And instead of compromising, we're going to try to shove our way in instead of talk about it.
You pretty much answered that straight away, and that goes back to what I said before. You know, there's this socialized aspect in men that we are the providers, we are the breadwinners, and what comes of that is that, well, for us to do that, it must be done our way, and we think the only way is our way. But a lot of the time, what we realise, just because we think it's the best way, usually isn't, and you can have better outcomes by involving the other person in that process. And again, the other thing comes back to, you know, what Shah was talking about. The neurology of the man is 1 + 1 = 2, point blank logic and reason. But sometimes it doesn't always have to be that way. And I think that's where communication very much can fall into that grey, where it's not always black and white. And something what Shah touched upon is very true. And we touched on this over quite a few shows, the idea of vulnerability for men. You know, for a man to be open and vulnerable is actually one of the greatest strengths it can be. You know, you're being real. But unfortunately, what happens is usually the reaction a man gets back then leads to, well, I ain't going to do that again. Vulnerability equals weakness. And again, it's that logic reason. It's strong but wrong response. And the other thing as well, which I think men and women forget, we're not born how to communicate properly. We're not born with a toolkit we can communicate straight away and ask for clarification. And a lot of the time, like Shah said, depending on the home environment we were born into, will have a massive impact on how do we express our needs, talk about our feelings, seek clarification. These things become really difficult. And, I talked about this a lot, and Shah, I know Shah as well. When you are a young child, particularly between the ages of 5 to 7, you learn more through what you observe than what is actually said to you. So if you're in a home environment with parents who kick off all the time and argue and fall out, then that's the version of communication that you're getting. You're not getting seen modeled to you, two people seeking clarification and asking them this, that, and the other. And this is, by all means, please, people out there, don't hear this as parent bashing. It's not
No,
parent
absolutely
bashing.
not. No.
It's just what you observe. And when I look at my mum and dad, how they communicated, there weren't really a lot of communication there. My dad did his own thing, but then in the background, my mum was clearing up his shit. But that was the reality. It was not my dad's fault. It's not my mum's fault. It's where they were at and what they learned about communication. And
Absolutely.
what's quite interesting is similar background to Shah. It's no wonder, I'll put it without turning into a bleep moment. When a lot of people engage into the profession of psychology or counseling, whatever it is, they usually do it for two reasons. Number one, to actually work out how messed up they are from their own childhood. And two, can I actually help other people to do it differently? But also, as I grew up as well, can I do it differently for my children?
Yeah.
So that's what you tend to find. The people who tend to be better at communication, clarification, have learned through perhaps rough experiences, is the only way I can put it. But it's like anything else. It takes practice. And with practice takes feedback. And unfortunately, we live in a world where feedback equals negative equals criticism. I ain't going to take that back. But how else are you going to
move forward?
Yeah, move forward. Shemaine, I'm going to give you the last word. Okay, there he is. He's back. I'm going to give you the last word. We got to cut this short, but we're going to be coming back next month with this every month, because first off, this has already been one hell of an episode, Joel. Every time that we get together, it's always great. This is even better. So, look, what we say, we're not afraid to tell our wives. We're not, my wife, we're not afraid to tell women. We just need to work on ourselves and be able to do this. Shemaine, any last words before we let you go for this month?
Just that, we live in a world where there's a lot of societal expectations and pressures. And one of those, underlying many things, is the idea that things have to be perfect. And it's like any step's a step. It's not about perfection. It's about intention. If you want to communicate better with those around you, you can take those steps. So it really isn't about perfection and societal expectations of that. It's about, let's be individuals with intention. And that's all you need to be able to take those steps forward.
I love that, because we can't teach people how to listen. We can only teach people how we talk to them. Yeah. So, Joel, any last words before we bugger off, my friend?
English words I'm teaching you. I think Shah summed it up really well. That's a beautiful mic drop moment, as it were. And then it's reinforcing, I'm really looking forward to going forward. We'll have our Rewire for Men podcast show. We've got great ideas to get guests on that in the new year. And we're going to have that wonderful show, which I'm already looking forward to, Nothing Off Limits, where Shemaine will be back every month. And hopefully by that point, I'll get a name right, so I'll be able to say it correctly.
It would help going forward, Darren. Yeah, it really would.
You see clarification, communication, and action here, you see?
Yeah. So
it's how you want to pronounce it, not actually how it is.
So,
I can say this.
Yeah, and I'd just like to say, you know what? Even though you brought it up, so I've got to use it. Even though men are from Mars and women are from Venus, we all live here now. So we need to
Yeah.
work on what's now. It doesn't matter where we come from. It doesn't matter where we've been. It's where we are now. That's what's important. So thank you, everybody. Shemaine, wonderful
Thank
to
you
meet
for
you.
having me.
Welcome to the Pact family. I love having you here. I am excited about this. Joel,
Me
brother,
too.
I will see you soon. So,
Take
but
care,
Always a pleasure.
everyone.
all right. Thank you very
Bye-bye.
much.
Bye bye.
Cue the music. Okay, so very sorry about all the technical difficulties today, all the glitches and everything, glitches, glumps, all the bad things. Anyway, hey everybody, seriously, we've only got 17 days left to record, so I need you to do me a favor and start recording now. Positive. Think positive. Think about your family traditions, your personal traditions. What have you done? How have you celebrated? It doesn't matter what culture, what what religion, none of that matters. What matters is we are positive. We learn, we teach, we bring to light the life that you've lived, the happiness that's been in your life. Together, we can make a difference because together we can be the miracle of the season and we can really make a difference in other people's lives. Thank you very much. Please remember to love somebody out there because somebody out here loves you. My name is Zach. I am the president and founder of Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the PAC channels. Please record now. Look, we're in this to help as many as we can. My goal is to help everyone. To do that, I need you. Remember, if you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. No one needs to go it alone when we all come together. Have a great evening, and I will see you on Wednesday night for Community Impact.